Hello and welcome to Pacific Waves Television's breaking news. I'm Kongowea Swahili. Now, Kenyans living in diaspora can now breathe a sigh of relief as government launches mobile consular services before it goes full digital. Our reporter, Kiariwa Prestige, brings us to speed on the fulfillment of a pledge that was made by His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, during his visit to the US, as narrated by myself, Kongowea Swahili. In his address to Kenyans during his Meet the People tour of the USA, His Excellency the President William Ruto said the newly created State Department for Diaspora Affairs will boost service delivery to Kenyans living abroad, especially on consular matters.
I have undertaken that in the next 6 months, all government services will be digitized and will be available online.
The president noted with concerns that Kenyans spend so many hours and days traveling to get consular services, and thus the time spent on getting government services should be used for productivity. What seemed as a dream has now been realized, and Kenyans abroad are smiling that the government of Kenya has made this dream come true.
At the moment, we have only 300 government services available online. But in the next 6 months, we will have onboarded 5,000 government services online and available on the digital platform, so that even when you are anywhere in the world, you can still access government services, and we have already agreed with all the stakeholders. We have put in place the necessary mechanism to ensure that that happens, and I mean in 6 months.
Speaking during the launch of mobile consular services in Seattle, Washington, Kenyan Ambassador to US, Consular General Ambassador Thomas Kwaka said the response have been overwhelming, and Kenyans living in the US will be getting consular services nearer than before as Kenya works in digitalizing the service online.
According to our estimates, we understand and we know the number of people who we have on this side of America,
yeah.
And we definitely expected a huge number.
Okay.
But you can ever fully prepare for the numbers that you have.
Yeah.
We expected that we shall be able to have a lot of these people, but one of the things that we found out is the documentation, and that is where we are right now.
Okay.
We are finding a lot of issues with people not being able to fill their documents properly,
yeah.
And people not being able to have the proper prerequisite documents that they require.
Yeah.
So what we've done, we've set up quite a bit of centers around the church.
Yeah.
The church is very big.
Yeah.
So we have on one wing a center that is able to help people with e-citizen.
Yeah.
We have another center helping people with photographs and IDs, and then we have the other one for immigration, which is basically passports.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, which services are you offering these 3 days?
So we're doing passports,
Yeah.
basically either renewals, new ones, or replacements.
Okay.
We're doing IDs. It can be copy, it can be renewal, it can be changing from the old generation to the new generation. And then we are also doing birth certificates.
Yeah.
For those who require, they can come with all the documents, and we are able to post them.
Yeah.
And then we shall be able to send them back to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have the numbers, that you were able to serve yesterday?
Yes, so yesterday,
So far?
yesterday we served about 600 people.
Wow. 600?
Yeah, 600 people.
Okay.
So this is how you calculate the whole, the chairs there are 350, and we managed to host maybe 1.5 times that number.
Ambassador Kwaka said that the government has started 2 mobile consular service on East and West Coast before embarking the same on Canada, Phoenix and Arizona and other states before extending its wings wider.
Actually, we launched 2 mobile consular services, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast,
Yeah.
and they're all running together. Canada begins this coming week. And then we shall be able to go to other cities also around America. Next week, this particular team moves on to Phoenix in Arizona.
Yeah.
And we know there we'll also get the same amount of numbers. So remember, this is how we did it.
Yeah.
We had a research which we sent out online for people to tell us what services they would want and where they'd want the services.
Yeah.
And that's what has informed us now
Yeah.
to reach where we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Currently, the mobile consular services makes it easier for Kenyans living in the US to comfortably and quickly get consular services and either get a new passport or its renewal, birth certificates, ID cards, or the renewal of ID cards right from the state that this has been established instead of traveling far to get the services. Ambassador Thomas Kwaka said that when consular services finally go full digital, Kenyans will be required to log on to eCitizen, fill in your information, get biometrics, go home and wait for your documents before the end of this year.
We take pride in being able to celebrate with Kenyans in the diaspora when they do great things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's only about the remittances. I think it's about also celebrating things like this.
Yeah.
Things that Kenyans have taken great strides to do.
Yeah.
And this is being able to sing the Lord's song in a foreign land.
Asked whether there is a need to have a consular office, Ambassador Kwaka said since the services are about to go full digital, there will be no need to establish offices.
We don't necessarily need a consular service because also right now, as you know, with the world, everything has gone digital.
Yeah.
I know the service here in this church, they have an online service
Yeah.
where with people all over the world.
Yeah.
Now, if we waited for them to come every Sunday, technology has brought them to where we are.
Yeah.
And that one has helped a lot. So in future, and also with the invent of blockchain and artificial intelligence, you will never ever need, whenever you call these big companies right now, you think you're talking to a human being.
Yeah.
It's a computer.
Yeah.
With a human voice.
Yeah.
So I think what we need right now is just to support the government.
However, Reverend Wanyoike, who hosted the ambassador at KCIC Kent, Washington, was of a different opinion, where he felt it was wise for government to establish consular services offices across states where people can be going for help if need be. He was backed by the chairman, Northwest Kenyans Community Association, who coordinated the events, John Kimani.
Maybe for these services, as the ambassador has said about issues about ID and other processes, maybe that one is digital, but maybe it's still because we have got a huge Kenyan population here. And says the chairman of the Northwest would tell us how many, maybe around 20,000 or so, even bigger number. So we need an office. In the near future, we need an office. After all, even we also need to have like the last general elections. There were centers. So we need a center here for where people can come and vote.
We need a consular office. I think this state has a lot of people. The population has grown in Washington. It has grown. We estimate we must have somewhere above, a little bit above 20,000 people here in this state. And most of those people are needing these services. We had talked to Ambassador Omayo when he was here, and he promised he's going to facilitate that to happen. So we are still hopeful. We are still waiting to see whether there will be a consulate office in this state.
Our president, back in the month of December 2022, he promised that all government services will be online.
Yes.
Do we need an office when we can do what we need?
We have had that too, and actually the Consul General was able to allude to that, where everything will be digitalized, so we don't have to go to LA or to DC. If that was to happen, that would be great help to our people, so we can do everything online. Yes.
Your parting shot?
My parting shot is we appreciate the Kenya government for bringing the services to our people, and they should continue doing what they are doing. This is, great help for our people. Yes.
Your parting shot.
Thank you very much for coming, and even for your studio. For your media for covering this, and we thank God for everything that is going on.
After all is said and done, the 3 days event was a step towards the right direction. On day one, over 600 people were served, an indication that indeed Kenyans were yearning for such a time, such an event, at least to ease the burden of finding consular services across United States of America. Reporting for Pacific Waves Television, I'm Congoweam Swahili.